All right. What else I gotta do? Damn. That is live, but I need to see me. Not to be stuck up. I mean, but I'm great. My voice is weak. Oh, shit. Was this one? I don't remember. Let's be held up. Stupid loud. Oh, Donnie with me, damn it. Let's see. No. Something. Motherfucker. No, don't hit the chat. No. I don't know. Can you all see me? I don't know what the hell I'm doing anymore. No. If you can hear me, this live chat ain't gonna, for my birthday, ain't gonna be party things, cake, anything. It's just gonna be me like any other live chat that I'm doing. I'm too old to give a damn anymore. If I can get myself on the screen. Oh my god, there I am. Alright, now where's the chat side? I don't know. Am I even I think this is actually YouTube settings and I don't have, I'm not monetized to have. And I wouldn't use the YouTube when I like streaming. Touch up my appearance. No. Hold on, yo. Ow. Didn't. Orientation setting. I'll disable with like, I don't give a shit. I'll count. Let's see. No, it's fine. I know how to webcam. Not for this, but delays, man. I got nobody here to help me. Oh, there. Why is it? Am I small? I guess I need to see. Better for me to see the. I need to know when anybody comes on here. Yes, you can see me on the screen, big enough. I don't need to see my damn mug. I know what I look like. Shit. Here. I said like 3 minutes. So when whoever comes in, a beautiful Papile or a bro, and you must be subscribed for at least 2 months to join the live chat. Or Angela Roy, I know you just recently came on. If you want to join, you're welcome to come on. You're invited to my live chat on my birthday. That's how I should have put it. Live chat on my birthday. No, oh, yeah, Michael Flags. Hello. Nasty on Domino's. Yeah, that's true. I saw your comment, beautiful Papile Colleen. I just haven't I transferred on my phone. I mean, here, but I need my phone on so I can get to the comment bigger and then I put it here. Because I don't know why. Oh, I'll email you later and explain it. Don't want to put our business out there. Okay, so you know what kind of people out there? Like on my 57th birthday, remember that hate and disrespect? Damn. But I thanked them, I deleted that live chat. That video live chat was a few seconds off from being 5 hours long. I had a good time, always have a good time with you guys. Whether it's a video only or live chat, of course, because we interact, all together. I hope the damn thing is on. It says live, 6 minutes and 50 seconds. These are sugar free and they're from Valentine's Day, but after. I don't even think the sugary ones are that sugary. I don't eat that many. I'm shutting the container. I'm not Dollar Tree. Dollar General, I think it was, or oh no, Walgreens. Sorry. I wish these were my reading glasses. Reading glasses instead of Dollar Tree. I mean, I see night glasses. Dang it. Here's a flag. Can't tell what the flag is. Oh, say if the flag is on that pole, I'd say it's asleep. Not even a little breeze should make it swing just a little bit. Uh, Desert state, right? Beautiful desert state. I get direct view of Southwest Gas Company building right there. The thing back. Geez, I know I did a last minute thing. I didn't know I had to put it here. That I could just do it from. I guess that's why they say schedule one, right? So you get everything out the way. I come here, it's low to get. Um, I can't force you guys, but I'm joking here. Um, Here to get not a customer. Population bros here in the chat. It takes a while. The other kind of work, I mean, I do boom. There's customers. I'm friends. There already quickly. On the same day that I go started live, got tips and I was being paid already. Not no. Has to have 40,000 views and so many subscribers in order to get monetized. Over there, you get monetized. As soon as the camera's on and you're live, somebody comes in, and when you set the schedule for tips or for certain uh, transactions to happen, and if family members aren't here, don't worry. I always let Social Security know ahead of time, and I already told the manager here that if I'm earning so much, I didn't say what on what, but I said she said $60 and over, then the Section 8 kind of adjusted my rent and stuff like that. And the Social Security, I gotta earn $20 and over. And like here, I go live over there when I want. Because remember, it's my time, more so my energy. If I got no energy, I can't go live. I was almost gonna cancel this one. I said, well, I can hear my music and then sleep all day if I want. My apartment's clean, so like I can never get her channel right. I have her on my community page. She's really inspiring. Well, you all are one of the content creators and the subscribers, Papile bros, you all inspire and encourage me. But for content creators to be inspiring, well, I even get touched by that. Like if I don't tell them I have a channel unless they say, well, like that Denise, she says she's very sweet. She says, and let me know if you have a channel, and I'll come by and I'll support you too. Because she has that. Uh, I'm not good with my words, and my comprehension sucks. The not common courtesy, but respect, I guess. And just like scratch my back. If you scratch my back, if you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours, or however that saying goes. If I don't use sayings at quotes for a long time, well, as I tell my son, I'm like a father figure to him. He's not a biological son, but he calls me dad or daddy. He's gonna be 27 January next year, but he's from Africa. No, he's not a scammer. Okay, we talk video chat and phone call. And my cousin Bono, who you've heard me mention in the past, he has spoken to him on video chat and stuff. He has his own business, so he doesn't ask for money. Because if he asked me for money, I'd say "bye, bitch" and give him a few words in French. And and dude, oh, hey, and this guy hasn't been on in a while. Dual X, Dual, Dual, and then E, big E, and then a small X. And he builds things. He makes turns vans into like like what the hell? Oh, I got lost for words. When you convert a van into like a home. Dang, he's good. He learned from this. I don't know if it's a trade company. There's a lot of content creators that do it. Yeah, he don't watch my channel, but some big channels seem. I mean, big channels have, and not because I sent them anything, just because some of them say, well, if I know that you're a content creator, I'm gonna go swing by your channel, see what you're about, But I don't like to do that unless it's welcomed within somebody's live chat. And I'm thinking I should get a regular. Well, I got so many channels on YouTube, and I just don't have them active. They're active. I mean, I'm just not on there. And change it to, just keep it as Michael or something. Actually, it's my Ray account, I guess. I have a Ray. I have 9 email accounts. Okay. Yeah, but they're all for different reasons. Not because I'm being shady and sneaky. It's I have to protect my identity. Well, more my family, my siblings that have kids. And even if they don't, still, I gotta make sure they're safe. Oh, Android. Oh, don't matter. Let's say real love. Oh wow, how Jolly Watley. Two more. I like colors, so I don't know. Maybe this is just recording the live. I don't know. BFF. That's all in the corner. Should have been in the middle of the heart. Nice one. Green is my favorite. Well, they're all my favorite. The pink and the grape one have a little. You can kind of taste the dye on there. But... So we got a white one, another orange one, yellow, green, a purple, a pink one. Is that it? Is there another color? I guess black is usually the. Oh, the orange one. Okay, 6 colors. Yeah. Now I'll make it 2 of each color just for. Oh, then I'm gonna look. Yes, I put myself in the third as a third name. I'm SMI. I'm about to be a little. I don't know if I ever shared. Bipolar, but it is what it is. Wait, that pink? Oh, that's pink, not purple. Oh, that yellow. This is for me throughout the day. I'm not gonna set the matters. I need another grape. That's not grapefruit. Color. For springtime, pastel colors. So 2 white, 2 yellow, 2 green, 2 purple, 2 orange, 2 pink. Yellow kilo container. I like their canisters. Men are supposed to go down about pretty and fancy. I mean, there's some men that like that, but I'm just not that type. I like to make sure that my dick and balls are still connected to my body, that they don't fall off, and that's why I like pretty and stuff. I mean, if you're a straight man and you're married, fine. To me, that's acceptable, but there's a lot of weird stuff in the gay community that I find. Mm-mm. And that lady always goes up for a smoke. I'm sorry, I'm looking out my window. That's what I can see. Grow. Tuba chat and connect and grow. Oh, is that you, Kevin? I'm sorry, I'm like out of it. I'm happy to be 60 years old. I'm glad that now the 50s, my age in the 50s decade, or however you say it, age, is gone. I'm happy to start a new age in a new apartment away from that bad stuff that was happening over there. I'm gonna rejoin the membership, Kevin. I had it for a while back in February or early March, but I ran into a little financial issue. And even though your membership wasn't that much for the month, every little bit of money I could use, I need it. But I will rejoin. Your channel is very good. Anybody that's seeing this live chat, go to Tuber Chat. oh my God, sorry. Connect and grow with Kevin. Cool guy. He's in Canada, right, Kevin? And I think, well, I don't want to put out there about your girlfriend, wife, fiance. Last time I was on there, I don't know if you had said you were married now or none of my business. I mean, but I'm trying to push her channel. I don't remember. I think she said she had a channel, but uh, fellow YouTubers, content creators, go to Kevin's channel. Um, I don't know how to put it into my community page, but thank you for the happy birthday. I know I went a long way around that one, but I hope you've been doing well and good. And I think you have a couple of cats for cats. Yeah, I'm forgetting now, but part of getting older, but I accept it, So I hope you've been well. And I like to give shout outs without, the subscribers have to send me. I know I'm giving out secrets, but I'm real. I'm sorry, but for myself, I'm real. In order to give that acknowledgement to our viewers, it should just be done because we love our audience, and I don't like saying subscribers. To me, it sounds like, well, they're less than me. I'm not any better than anybody. Well, we're all better than our haters and trolls, right, Kevin? That's why they come at us, right? Because we're doing something right and they're not. Anyways, it's from my heart, you gotta, they're the ones that build us up, and our hard work and them supporting us and backing us up. I have long-time subscribers and because of my original channel, I lost it when I switched phone numbers and a new phone with Cricket a few years back. And this channel is my new one, it's old now. I started in 2021, but my original one, I started in 2015. I've been on YouTube. November 1st will make it 10 years that I've been on YouTube. And, I was in the same time that I started my YouTube channel, I started the other kind of live chats, but um, the I was also in culinary art school November of 2015 before I started my channel, and I got the idea. My brother Bubba Andrew, he always said, that there's a platform called YouTube. You can make money on YouTube. Little did I know that it's gonna take, this long. I'm still not monetized, but I kind of want to keep a small channel. I love to see the numbers grow after this long being on YouTube, but it's it is very hard work, and that's why, because of my age, I don't have, and with my mental issues and my physical illnesses, medication makes me kind of sleepy sometimes, and I have to kind of take time off. I didn't want to take those 2 months off, but I was told by a family member, okay, YouTube celebrity. And when I heard that, boom, I started having a dislike, not for them, for YouTube, like, I'm not out to be a celebrity because I'm not, other people, might like that title, but I'm not. I just like being on here sharing little talents and little knowledge and stuff I know, But other than that, I like seeing when I see other channels growing that we started about the same number or they came in after I did when I started this channel and they're up there now, and I'm happy for them. You can't be envious because then it's never going to happen through ourselves, but I've always been that. I'm always happier for somebody else. I like seeing, as long as I see other people happy, that makes me happy in my heart, and that helps with my mentality, because I said, wow, I know these people when they were we started out about, maybe I started a bit more ahead of them, maybe a year or something, but they're really growing, and it has to do with your channel, Kevin, and with, you know, them doing it and doing it and doing it. If I would have started when I was maybe in my mid 40s, I'd kind of be used to it, you know, but I started when I was 50. You know, it's only 10 years in, and we're coming on 10 years in November, but I bet you're, even if you're not here, Kevin, I'm still wanting to acknowledge you because, like I said, you're a cool guy. Everybody that I met, Robin and Chad, you know, Sea Lake Journeys, Bruce and Cindy, Liz and Chris, Alicia's Adventures and Cruising, what's her name? Oh God, Michelle from Mom, Son, and Makeup or something like that. Oh, Gloria's Platter. Oh, what was John's channel? The bartender guy, home bartending with John, I think. And I don't want to give wrong channels. A lot of cruiser. Oh, Scott from Controversial Cruising. I think I met him there on your channel or through Robin and Chet. Oh, there's more. Oh God. But you know, and what I love about them, I have never been on a cruise, but still they accept me. And like if I have not have been, but I see them as a inspiring, well, inspiration, motivation to. I wanted to actually go on a cruise, start saving money, so by the time I turn 60, I could go on a cruise. But I cannot save money for some reason. I think I do like emotional spending or something just to keep my mind occupied, you know, because I'm bipolar, like I said, and my mind can go pretty dark if I don't keep myself with music and the TV and videos here on YouTube. So the 2 months that when I was transitioning from the old place here, I was living with my brother Bubba. I got in here, so he was able to go to my storage room and bring some furniture and clothes and stuff, you know, here. I was living with him for 2 months, so I didn't have my internet, so I fell behind on 2 months of watching the channels unsubscribed to, and it's hard catching up. I have a lot of interest, and I don't want to. So I'm thinking of. I have my old phone, but I can only make 911 calls on that one. This one that's charging, I use that, and I'll watch videos. This laptop, watch videos or a playlist here, and my phone, I'll look at YouTube. But then it's hard for me to read the comment section, so I can see that I'm putting in the right. And then I have my other laptop, but it's starting to separate from the, you know, the board part from the bottom of the laptop. So I have a wireless keyboard and mouse, but doesn't register how to connect it. No, if that goes, then I could do a playlist on that one. Playlist either on the phone or here, and I can watch videos on the available one that's not on the playlist. But it's horrible, and I feel bad, you know. And that goes all the way to November of. When that Ronda gave me that letter, they gave me 30 days to move. That sucked, man. A lot of my Papiles were saying that's not enough time, you know. She should have given you more time, but I guess I was told by my recovery coach. They says no, she didn't do nothing wrong. Actually, you know, by law, that's enough time. But you know, somebody that does not have more than one income for a month, and then no no transportation, limited funds, you know, and things cost money, especially with food being high now. Dang, I wanted to do like at least $300 grocery shopping list, but April hit me with so many. I had to pay. I had missed a phone payment, phone and internet payment from January, and that was 100 and I'll say $157 what I pay monthly. That ended up because of that skip payment of from January. I owe $314. I don't get $1,000 a month yet, but SSI is not very high here. But if I would have had at least a little over close to $1,500 a month, I would have been able to make it, but I had to. My brother Bubba paid my phone so it could be turned on so that I could activate my debit card when it finally came. And that was an extra $157 that I could use on food, but had to pay him back, because he didn't have to do that. That's why with that $300 I got paid, and then extra $157 that went to my brother when it could have. I'm not complaining, I'm glad that he did that for me, but I knew that was going to be an extra expense that I could use towards food, but I want to start eating healthier, being healthier, new age, new apartment, new attitude I want, and a better life, because the older you get, something like a car, the older the car gets, the more, sometimes not always, people are lucky. The car starts going all downhill. You gotta upkeep the maintenance and insurance and wear and tear and all that good stuff. So I think of me as an old car. Very out of trip. That was a mouthful, huh? Even looks hot outside, but oh, there's a flag. No, looks like it's waving a little bit. Oh yeah, got a good way. Let's see. I guess I don't know what the content creators when you all go live if you script anything. I don't, so that's why I'm. Like the reason why I never let my inner child die is because I not die, but suppress it longer. Is even if you do it behind doors, I don't care. If I want to get on the swing at the park, I'm gonna get on the swing and I'm gonna swing and having a good time. That's my joy, my unless I guess I don't know enjoyment, pleasure. I don't know because me saying pleasure sounds dirty, but the that's why I don't. If you dress like everybody else dresses in certain age groups, to me that's my mentality is saying you're aging yourself faster. Wear what you're used to wearing, unless you want to. And to me, yeah, I act mature when I need to, when I'm supposed to. I don't act immature like a little kid. I love that makes me release stress. That makes me happy. That makes me relax. That makes me calm. If I get laughed at, well, I've been laughed at all my life, so nothing new about that one. And again, since I'm SMI, I have an excuse to be that way, sometimes, but it's the humble in me, um, like people say, if you are one of the seven dwarves, which one would you be? Well, I have three. I will not reveal the one that's really me. That one's personal to me. That's for me. But the other two are bashful and grumpy. But the number one little dwarf, I will not share that one. That's for me here and here. And I even had a little. Well, my then partner gave me. He had it, and he gave me it. He said, "Oh my God, you are that little dwarf." But bashful and grumpy. I came on saying moody. But yeah, but there's three. More so the one I will not reveal. When I get subscribers and I'm gonna reveal who it is, or I'll do a poll. Which of the seven dwarves? Which are the three seven dwarves am I? I'm sure they're gonna come up with grumpy, but and bashful, but I'll probably slip up and say it. But for now, I gotta keep it that one to myself. Jeez, I don't. Oh, it's one in here. Hold on. Came up. As soon as I got near the unit, it came up. Oops. I guess it's telling me happy birthday in a sarcastic way. Oh, I can. I don't need this. Well, I guess I talked myself out. I got um, a bloaters, and I woke up a week and a half ago. I opened my eyes, obviously when I woke up and see this like black, like a strand of not yarn, not like jute twine, but very small, like frayed, like that. And I said, "Oh my God, do I have a parasite on my eye?" So I googled. It said, "This is what I'm seeing out of my left eye," and I was hoping don't say parasite, and it said that it's uh, floaters, and they clumped up together and made like a little chain, so to speak. So that's what it is. So I'm happy it's not a parasite. It doesn't hurt. It's just annoying because I see it right there without it. Because I said, well, maybe it's like an eyelash or something. But I've been, through water in the eye and waited. It's still there. It seems like it might be going away slowly, but it's just because if I'd have been here where I don't see it, fine, but I see it right there. At least well, that gray isn't as big anymore, I see a little bit better. Well, I always, when I got seeing eyeglasses in 85, um, I had 20/20 vision up to 85 and then had an eye exam because I was having issues seeing, and it was my left eye that was already getting diabetes is adding issues to it. But do you have any questions, Kevin? I go like this, I don't see it obviously. So it's here somewhere. It moves around like slowly rocks side to side. Oh, I'm sorry, Kevin. I'll let tell him. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. You're a good guy. You got a good heart, and um, I wish I had the quick mind to be able to say something quickly. Maybe you have an answer, Kevin. I On my channel, I don't want to be like the traumas I've been through as a child. I want to be. I don't can't come up with the words of how to say it. I don't want to be. Oh my God, what is that? A role model. I want to be like the way I act when it comes to the sexual traumas. I want to be kind of like the visual aid, so to speak. But I don't think that's the right word or words for it. I want to if somebody has small children and they start acting differently and become nervous and shy all of a sudden. It could be anything that happens to a child that can make them be that way. But I want to be like, the way Michael has stated this in the past, or, putting myself in the third person, that like if I'm one of you guys saying, hopefully not that never happens to any of your children, grandkids, or nieces, nephews, or a longtime friend, their kids. I want to be a reason to ask a child, if somebody, you know, the old cliche, has somebody touched you inappropriately, or has something happened to you that you're afraid to tell me, please let me know. I'm your mom, your dad, your aunt, your uncle, a friend. The old cliches, but it has to be known. Look at that poor little Madeline Soto, if she would have just, I'm sure he threatened her. The man that attacked me when I was 9 years old, he didn't say, you better not tell your parents, but I just knew, for some reason, I just knew to keep it to myself. And it happened when I was 9 years old. There was 4 adult witnesses in my neighborhood, and they knew who my mother and father were. They knew who my family were, because they would talk to them going in the neighborhood. And come on, each one believed everything the man told them. He said, me and my son are looking for a place to pee. First was an elderly man in the neighborhood, and he went inside. The next 2 were women. One woman lived in a lavender colored home. She sees the guy and me heading, north that way. And she shuts her screen door and shuts the door. So then we continue heading, see my coordination, that north, walking that way. And we get to the house right at the alley. And we go down that alley heading west, and then we turned up left. So it'd be behind her backyard. She puts the water hose away, gets her dog, goes in her home, and shuts the door. The last witness, I'm not saying that because he's blind, but why did the last witness, in a way, yes, it's kind of both ways I'm going with this one. Why did my last witness have to be a blind man? What happens to his other senses, like they say, one sense, the other ones get, boom, open up strong. And, shut his door. And so that man was able to do to me what he did. So I always say, damn, well, not then, but now, when I think back then about it, and I would rather be his best friend and forgive him, but I cannot forgive those 4 adult witnesses. Had one of them said something, Kevin, and called the police, back then it would have been 0. There was no 911 then. And, 74. Not one of them protected a little 9-year-old boy. It's like they wanted to harm me. I'm sure they knew what was going to happen. So I know it's not good, but I wish they're all burning in hell, I hope, or soon will be. That I will, unfortunately, probably, I'm hoping that I will forgive them when I'm on my deathbed, but for all these years up to this point, I can't. So again, like that little Madeline Soto, has she said something? Or I thought, I remember when I was going through puberty, I saw my doctor, my pediatrician, because I went through puberty at, hey, Papile, sorry, Kevin. Good afternoon, Michael. Oh, sorry, afternoon there? Oh, how are you doing, Papile? How's your weekend going? Oh, I didn't even ask you that, Kevin, I don't think. But back to that, I thought, especially for young girls that are going to, since they're mature faster than us boys, when she's gonna be starting her menstrual cycle and stuff. Thank you so much, beautiful Papile, Sharon. I really appreciate that. And don't they check the girls down? Well, us men don't know. You don't have to say Sharon, but don't young girls get checked down there for physical? And wouldn't they have noticed like vaginal tearing or her hymen not being there anymore, or anal? You know, not to get personal. I'm seeing how people miss this young girl's horrific crap that she was going through, the evils that that son of a bitch was doing to her, and that has me really fucked up in the head with that one. Well, all children. I don't like seeing sad children. When I see a child crying, it makes me sad. I get teary eyed. But um, anyways, back to I want to be like um, my God, my child's acting or saying things the way or thinking the way Michael does. Please, God, or whoever you believe or worship or don't worship, uh, please don't let my child have experienced something, not so much me because I'm just here, but the little girl, Madeline, all other children. Oh God, here comes tears. Always sorry. That's the reason why I don't watch news. Other children who get taken, sexually molested, then they're killed. Their fucking nightmare is over, and they're up in heaven with God and Jesus Christ. What the goddamn fuck makes me so fucking special that I was molested, but I get to live, and every day, 24/7, that memory never goes away. So I suffer every fucking day, 24/7. That's the reason why sometimes I have tried committing suicide. I cannot take it. Sorry. Sorry, didn't know I was going to say that. But that's why last year February when I saw the kidney specialist and he did a ultrasound on my kidney and he kept doing it on my left kidney and then says, "I want to send you to have a ultrasound, um, with the X-ray place, radiology limited." And they said when they finally did the ultrasound and the kidney specialist got the results back, he said, "You have a tumor on your left kidney." And I said, "Well, I had cancer once, so maybe this time I'll be lucky and it'll be cancerous." And I mean, the tumor, the oral cancer was cancer stage 2. But anyways, the I said, "Oh, finally, this is my way off the earth." Then I thought, no, well, when I die, I can go to heaven, hopefully, and I'll be the one taking care of the Americans again, the little children that were killed, and keep them happy. But it didn't work out in my people that way. Well, look here, I noticed stuff. What a happy birthday, huh? But, you know, that's my life. But anyways, again, if I could finish this damn thing. Anyways, the way I am, if you see children being like that, please, please question them, even if they don't want to answer it. Kind of not force them, but make them say something. Every don't let years go by of them being untreated. Because I kept it to myself from age 9 to the age of 21. I don't know how I dealt with life every day. I just knew to not say nothing, and I just somehow made it. For those, I think 15 years, I think it was, or something. But it's hell. So again, when you see or hear a child in the neighborhood and passing, I mean, you can't approach them, but um, just keep a open mind. That, oh my God, could this child in my family have gone through like the little metal and Soto or all the children right now? I can't think of the other children that I believe she was pregnant. And that's why she was killed. Because how would they explain Madeline Soto? How would they explain her being pregnant if she didn't have a boyfriend in school, but they knew that an adult man was sleeping in their bed with the mother and her. And then the dumb mother, sorry, Sharon, the collection of dumb mother, her, Jen Soto, why would she put her daughter between the two instead of the girlfriend, Jen Soto sleeping next to her boyfriend, that pedophile, Stepan Stearns, then her at the end of the bed? Never put the child in the middle unless they're smaller and they can roll off the bed, but come on, a 12-year-old girl in bed with a man. And then if the parent, mother, and the a-hole when having sex, well, you know, being male, I'm not saying you can't ask, well, yeah, you're a man, I mean, but you don't have to respond. But, you know, when a man gets an erection, it doesn't just go away sometimes. Something has to be done to take care of it. And if there's not a sexual outlet with somebody else, well, like milking a cow, right? in order to get that release out of you, and then it goes down. I'm not saying, oh man, some of us men can handle it, and some. Why didn't he use his toy? I think they said he had a flashlight, and this A.K.A is always saying on Grizzly True Crime that she kept saying his masturbation cream, and I said, oh my god, just the word masturbation makes me laugh. I said, no, and then her voice squeaks, so it's cute. And she sounds British, but she was born in South Africa. I'm not saying that stereotyping in old history books that, it's, well, this one was a bad comprehension as a small kid in elementary school and junior high. I thought that only, black people were from Africa, and they said, my brother Andrew, Bubba said, now that there's actually more white-skinned people in Africa than black. I said, well, no, my mind doesn't comprehend like that. But, yeah, but she sounds British, but she was born in South, I think she said South Africa, and then she said she was a pilot. I said, good for her, but she got into true crime, and thank God to her for that, because she really, they all do. Annie Elise for Chantry Live, then her other channel, I think it's a podcast channel, is like serious, but serial, like a serial killer, seriously. Then there's Kimberly Daily Sarian. She does true crime, but I don't think she's ever done a current case. Well, she started when she started her channel, her first mystery solve, because she does murder, mystery, and makeup on Mondays. And then Dark History is there's a podcast channel. Then there's Nancy Grace, a prosecutor. Last year I was subscribed to Vinny Politano. He's a prosecutor. Court TV, I think is his channel. Then there's a few more. I just recently, last month, subscribed to Allegedly Speculating. Man, I love her southern accent. And Nancy Grace, of course, I love her southern accent. Southern accent's my favorite accent to hear. I'll give a little story. I just mentioned this to, who was it? A second show woman. I think either Melissa, the manager. No, I think it was Leanne, who handles the pantry and stuff like that. And was it her? Well, whoever. Great. As I always say, my thought is gone with the wind. That's how I like to do overmade it. Hopefully it comes back, or hopefully not. But, the true crime. My mom's has 3 cousins. 2 of them were sisters, and the other cousin was my mom and the 2 sisters, other first cousin. And they married 3 brothers from Alabama, Mobile, Alabama, so they had that strong southern accent. It was my Uncle Willie, my Uncle Earl, and my Uncle John. And then my dad's aunts, from his mom, that was my grandmother's little sister. Hey, beautiful Papile, Miss Latanya's sister. Oh, thank you so much. I see you sent me the little song. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Good morning or afternoon, and welcome. And boy, you missed me crying like a dumbass, but it is what it is, right? It was a serious matter at this point. I'm kind of getting back to my help word. That cracks me the hell up. But anyways, the Oh my God, what was I talking about? That's going good. And just like I said, you missed me breaking down crying. But again, I was talking about, yes, crying. I don't mean it sarcastically, like, well, yes, why can't I cry? I was talking about the sexual trauma that happened to me, not my mom, but the man that got me in the neighborhood. The four witnesses, they didn't do squat to prevent it, so they allowed a man to harm a little 9-year-old boy in 1974 summer, June. And I keep saying that I think I've mentioned it on several live chats in the past or on videos that if you know a child and you see them acting like the way you see me, that I could be happy and then boom, I start crying and talking about bad crap, that they're acting to please question the child, no matter if they shy away. Somehow a parent has to very calmly, well, being a parent, I'm not a parent, so this is me thinking the way you all would think, as a parent. But I want to be, like I said, I want to be, uh, uh, what did I say? A role model as being a professional into the psych. I can only myself. We only have our own brains and our own minds in our head. Everybody has our own. Unless you're a robot, not you guys. I'm not saying you guys, but in general, here we're family. You're my population bros. We don't think like that, but the people in general, that do what others do, and I want to be kind of like, like people read books and you get that information that way. You hear the professional side, but sometimes to me in my mind, professionals don't know everything unless they've experienced that stuff themselves. So you can have not you again, the psychologist, therapist, or whatever. If somebody does not experience what I have, especially for so many damn years, I think I would know a little bit more how to handle myself. I just don't have the medical knowledge or the terms for it. But anyways, I like saying that. Like saying, okay, Michael, get back to the subject. I want to be the only best part that keeps coming to my mind is I want to be like a visual aid if somebody sees somebody, well, a child, or even somebody grown and they were harmed in some way. Right, Latanya? Latanya, if you want to grow your channel, go to, oh my God, Super Chat, connect, and let Miss Sasha know too. I don't know, you sisters email each other, but I know you ladies are close, and that's how I met Miss Sasha, was through you, Latanya. So thank you for that introduction. Me meeting another cool sister, and um, also Sharon and Latanya. Sharon, you have a channel, right? I'm pretty sure you have a channel right now. So I'm not I'm mental right now, but yeah, I was telling. How the hell do you know how I feel? You're not in my head. You didn't live my experience. You have the knowledge, medically wise and scientifically and stuff. But if you never experienced it, don't tell me how I feel and how to deal with it. I've gotten this far in life without you being in it in the past, so I can continue. You are just here to hear me and make suggestions on what I can do to improve myself mentally better and have a better attitude and a way of dealing with it. Yeah, you're gonna smack me with a bunch of medications just so you can keep getting that monthly or weekly or bi-weekly insurance check, right, from my insurance. Every prescription they write is money in their pocket. And some care, yeah, there's some good ones out there, but a lot of them also are money, money, money. Like let's get Michael 1,500 milligrams. What was that medication called? Diolin or something like that. They were overdosing me with that medication. You know how I was walking around more jittery, my legs were bopping. They overdosed me on that damn, and I was on it for so many months. My dad says, Michael, you're not acting like yourself. You're acting like you're being over medicated. Yeah, I'm very lightweight, so 1,500 milligrams of Dilantin, I think, something like that. And it was La Frontera, the mental clinic I belong to, landlords. And yeah, they were overdosing me. It was too much, too powerful. I will look. Yes. And when Miss Sasha, Sheila, Tanya, and you, Kevin, and Sharon, if you're listening, Sasha did a recording, a video, and she stated that she had to see a gynecologist. I'm not going to get into, to not make you feel uncomfortable because, as you know, Latanya, you gave me the realist part of my channel name. So again, thank you for that. And you'll always be here. All of you are here. And she was talking, and I answered. I said, us men don't have what women have. We're not the portals to life. You women are. So it's a woman's world. I'm sorry, man. Even though obviously I'm a man, but we're not. Men don't rule the world. Women do. You ladies are the portal to life. You're the one that gives birth. We come out of the mother's womb. Yes, a woman rule the world. Stupid man. But the ones that think that way, oh, it's a man's world. No, it's not. I'm sorry. And a housewife deserves pay. Because I know for parent, but more so for a mother and a housewife, that's a never-ending job. I'm sorry, man. Pay your wife a salary, unless the woman just doesn't see it that way. But that's how I see it. A woman should be treated. Yeah, I might not come up sounding like a woman, respecter of women, but I respect women. Again, we would not be here, especially us men that think the way. Well, again, not me and my siblings, brothers don't think that way. There you go, Tanya. See, you have to. For me, I started getting treatment finally, for my mental trauma that was in '92, and then I just kept developing more and more and more. And but not to put your question up, I got it. Say that to the White House cut the check for housewives, right? There you go, Tanya. Said I wish me, you, and Miss Sasha could go down there and say, "Hey, what's up?" Let's give them some talking through, right? So read your everything, just repeats itself, but we don't want that open. I always been for women's rights since third grade, but I don't remember what year it was when Helen Reddy released that great song for you women. I am woman. Hear me roar. Amen to that song. See, I'm not a woman, but I got a wooden table back here. Amen to Miss Helen Reddy. And ever since then, and then country singer Mindy McCready, she killed herself, because she was, I guess, with depression also, and she had a song called "Guys Do It All the Time." Man, that's a perfect payday song for you women to us men, I'll include myself because sometimes I can be naive to certain things, because I'm not a straight man, so I don't know what is to date a woman. I find women, see, I'm going all off topic. Let me finish with Miss Sasha's. So I said in the comments, Papile, how does a man tell a woman, oh, it's only going to hurt a few seconds or a few minutes, but we don't know. We don't have what women have, and I don't think that not to poo-poo on women because I believe women should do any job they want and get paid the same as a man, not less than, and be treated differently because she's a woman. No, you treat the woman equal or pay the woman even more because that she will prove to us men that she will study harder, work harder, and do a hell of a, I'm gonna say, fucking better job than us men or some men. You know, if, when I see marriages and I see the woman behind the husband, I'm sorry, men, but a wife is not less than you. She is your equal because I know that marriage has to be 50-50 or else it's a one-sided thing, uh, love relationship. And that's a no-no in my eyes. I don't like seeing that. The woman walks right beside you as she walks, if you're walking in the sidewalk or wherever, she's always to be on the inside and us men on the outside closer to the street. If us men get hit, well, we're protecting the woman. We always protect the wife. And then when there's children, I know that children come first, then the wife, or the children and the wife equally, then us men. Don't do that bullshit. I don't want to go off on a was it tangent with men because then you're gonna get me in trouble, sister. Yes, that's right, sister. I'm serious. We should, if I can learn how to save damn money, then let's go to Washington. You and Miss Sasha. And let's say, come on, let's. What's up? We're gonna put up some chairs and we ain't leaving until you hear us all. I'll let the ladies talk first because I'm a gentleman. Ladies first. I open doors for women. I always, like, on the bus, they see me with the cane and I said, oh, go ahead. And I said, no, I was raised right by my father, I'm a gentleman, ladies first. And I always do my arm like that in hand and I said, ladies first. I don't care if I'm about to hit the ground because my legs are tired and my back's clammy. Ladies first. A man never puts himself before a lady. I'm sorry, but, well, sorry, not sorry. Anyways, let me finish. So, anyways, with Miss Sasha, she goes, brother, you're right. Like, when in January 20th, I had a kidney stone that was too big to pass, so, I had to call 911, and they took me and they had to do emergency, kind of emergency surgery, but it was going to be on the 21st, very early in the morning, excuse me. So they put a stent in me, so of course I was asleep. It was a 12-inch stent, and they showed me the tool that they were going to use to, and they were going to go into the opening of my penis. I thought they were going to, like, cut me and put it in there, but so it looked like what do they call it? The little stir, that little flat black, or sometimes mainly the red, the sturdy stick was flat like that, the stent. And then he showed me the long thing. It looked like a huge 12-inch bobby pin. You know how the bobby pin goes like this, and that little thing like that, and like that. All that had that, but little pinchers, there. So March, 2 months later, I had to go to the cancer center on the north side of town, and they were taking out. They did not put me under. Okay, so I felt everything. Okay, I said, OMG, yes, Papile, sister. I'm gonna call you Combo. That way it tastes beautiful Papile. Wow, it's actually like my titles to you beautiful ladies is my beautiful Papile, because they're my Papiles here. And when I talk about you ladies, I always say my Papiles. They people are like, what's a Papi? And I say a single female butterfly, and not a male butterfly. It's Papile. Papilan is both male, female. No, not a hermaphrodite butterfly, because I'm not that. You know, it's both sexes of male butterfly, well, female butterfly, male butterfly together, flying around. And but my beautiful populate is a female butterfly in French. But, well, that's what my great grandmother told me, because she was French and Spanish. Anyways, because her maiden last name was French, and she. What was I going with this one? I digress too many times, right? Um, but oh, the cancer. So the nurses tell me just relax, relax, because they injected the thing, but again, they didn't knock me out. Okay, so she takes my penis, she flips it, to go up, and I see this shot right in there into the bottom side of my urethra. Oh my god, I felt everything. And I'm like, oh, she's all just deep breathe. I said, how the hell do you know you don't have a fucking cock? I was in pain and I wasn't thinking. I said, how do you know you don't have a fucking cock? And then I told the urologist, that's gonna remove the stent. Cause what? Then I could feel that thing being inserted. And sorry, I always try to keep a civil tongue, especially with you ladies. I know it's hard, but but she's all charming. And I told the urologist, said, damn, next time knock a brother out, man. Even if you gotta do this, a few times, knock my ass out, man. I don't want to feel that shit anymore. Oh my god. I don't want to make you people laugh and then a little pee comes out. Oh, I gotta tell you about my Puerto Rican friend. When I early 2000s, me and that idiot were, I think, a year into our relationship, and she was born in Puerto Rico. So, anyways, I was telling Miss Sasha about that. I said, I don't think I told her that story, but I said, um, you know, not to disrespect women, I told her, but I said, how does a woman know what it feels like to have a penis? I'm sure during intimate things, you know what it feels like. Um, in general, okay? Because I don't get personal like that. And, um, and I don't think that way, But, um, you know, our, the we're built differently down there. Ours is like, not to sound dirty, ours is like a solid form without being, you know, pointing, say asleep. And, you know, you ladies don't know, unless a man really lets a woman know. But I don't want to get that personal with you, honey. But and we don't know. I'm dying. Sorry. You could say prayers after the live chat is over with. And um, at least my frame of mind is. But the I should have put a warning out. Be careful. Uh, get an exorcism after you hear my live chats and stuff. I'm trying to be better at that, sister. It's hard. but it's hard for me, okay, not something else. Oh boy, when I get on a road with that kind of talk, oh my god, it's hard to suppress it. But we don't know unless you can really open your mind up to getting all the picking up and actually, well, women are more in tune than us men. I mean, I get premonitions because they say when you go through bad traumas, other senses will boom, blow up, kaboom. Damn, that plane is huge. Oh, the Air Force Base probably. And what is those words? I'm still like, I'm dying over here. The Sharon, I hope I'm not shocking you if you're still here, Papile or Kevin, bro. But I don't know, man. Got my blind ass. So they didn't put it. No, no, Miss Beautiful Papile, Miss Tanya, sister. Oh, no, man. That's what I said, man. Next time, knock a brother out a few times. Give me a few punches next time. I hope I don't have to experience this shit ever again. But yeah, I felt everything, and it burned. I don't know. It didn't burn as bad as cancer does. I almost go through it. Gee, oh, geez, yes. Oh, God, it was horrible. Mm. So, anyways, back to let's get off this medical. So, Haiti, Haydde. I mean, oh my God, Haydee, Haiti. And she was born in Puerto Rico, and she came here to her aunt and uncle from New York, invited her to come live with them here in the United States. So she was cute, little chubby Puerto Rican, like, because she was older than me. She was already then 50 when I met her, 53, 52, going on 53. And by the time this experience happened, she was already had just turned 55 years old. So she had kind of an accent, okay? She could speak English, yes, but she had the New York accent a little bit, but not kind of like Rose. No disrespect to you, beautiful, popular Rose, when you see the side chat, but uh, lighter. I don't know how to put accents. We're all human. Well, some of my relatives are questionable, but that's neither here nor there. Okay, but talk about aliens. Yeah, they're real. They're in my family shit. Along with being the United fucking Nations. But okay, back to this story. Okay, so she had a little accent. Okay, we're in her apartment, Jose and I, and she would invite us for dinner or food or just for a visit. So it was a Saturday, and I had made. Oh God, I'm already laughing because it might not be funny to you all, but if you live in my head, yes, it's gonna be fun. So she said something. I said, she goes, "So, mijo, what are you gonna make for dinner tomorrow or soon?" And I said, "Well, I make deviled eggs. I love deviled eggs, because it's protein. Well, not it's not healthy, but boiled eggs. Yes, I love boiled eggs. I just don't like the smell. But that is a good cover up. So when you have very bad gas and you're farting some smelly rotten egg, make boiled eggs, and that's a good cover up, right?" I'm kidding. See how my mind thinks? Oh my god! But like when I burped eggs, I said, "Oh, I wish I'd be coming from boiled eggs." Then but I think it's like when they say you have a sour stomach or heartburn, or I don't know. I call it heartburn when people fart and it kind of like burns. Too real, huh, Lachana? No wonder you gave me the. We all do it, so Anyways, down, Michael, calm down. Back to Haiti and the story. So she said, I heard her. She told me after the fact, okay, of what she said, but that's not what I heard come out of her mouth. Like me with the puñata, and she said, "What did you call me?" I got to tell that story. I said on the live chat on Rose's live podcast with the Ouija board one, where I was a guest, and so she's sitting across from me, like directly across, and Jose was to our left, on the sofa in her apartment. And she said something, and I said, I didn't say double dicks. I said double dicks. And she said, no, mijo, you're making. I made her crack up with that one. And then she said, no, mijo, I got pee pee, but I don't want to move. She has to pee. And I said, because I know women can't really hold it. Well, I guess some of you women can, again, I'm not a woman. I have a bad vagina, so I don't know how it is control for women, but she ended up urinating over that. Because I didn't say double dicks. I said double dicks. And we were watching the movie, scary movie. I think it was the first one, and she had it. So that's what it was, a dinner and an invite to watch a movie. And that's the part where Cindy's in the bathtub, she's shaving and like that. And then, I said, "Man, Cindy in the tub, she made an extra bubble bath." So, anyways, okay. Now, I do know a few words in Spanish, and I understand a few, but very limited. In the studio apartments, well, all the walls at the Chisholm house were kind of thin, so you could kind of hear your neighbor if there be an instrument over it. Anyways, well, that was our neighbor, man, Jose's neighbor in our studio. That's sounds I didn't care to hear. Anyways, vice versa, him to us, right? I don't know, Jose and I. Anyways, again, um, she said that she felt a big fart coming. So she said, I grabbed my sheets and my blanket and other stuff and some pillows. Okay, now the word bezel. I don't know if it's PEGHO or look at I'm giving teaching lessons. I'm the teacher, okay, for today. Or it's PEDO, bezel. Anyways, she said, and so she thought she was going to be safe under the sheets and her big pillow. And here it comes. I can't do the sound. The after saying of it. And man, I threw such a man bellow. And she said, I'm sure the neighbor must have heard it and probably woke him up. Now, I'm going to get a little, I have no other way of saying it. Now, I know that women also will do that from the front area. When I was staying with my best friend Donna and her son Michael at the time, his namesake, she made this loud sound and said, "Damn, Donna, how did you make a little sound?" I didn't feel the bed rumble. She was a 400-pound woman, and she said, "That didn't come out of my ass." And I said, "You quote?" She said, "Yes." And I said, "God, well, that was louder than the the backside. Jeez. And then she used to sleep naked in the bed. I said, respect, lady. I know this is your house, your bed, your room, but geez. I had my own comforter. She had her own, but still. And then she would, oh my God, the things that would come into my head. No, not sexual, but she rolled over. I said, stop, steamroller. You're going to smash me down. Because I'm a little small man and she's a heavy set woman, and 5'11", taller than me too, but I would say like that. And then one time I reached back, yawning, and I heard a slap. I said, "Oh, sorry, Donna, I smacked you on the stomach." She said, "That wasn't my stomach, that was my breath." I said, "Are you naked again, woman? Jeez." I mean, I know what a naked woman looks like, but my best friend, I don't want to see like that, because we would call each other brother and sister, so I don't see my sister naked, thank you. And um, the, what else happened? Um, I'm trying to get off the subject of bodily function and stuff, but Haiti was, well, I don't know if you saw that live chat, with Tanya, with me on Rosa's channel, the Ouija board one. And thank you, my beautiful puppy. Well, thank you, and you're putting up with my God, the things that came out of my mouth, right? Anyways, thank you so much. It means so much to me that you even spent some time with your brother here. I really love it. I remember, I'm not Michael to you out here. I'm your bro, okay? That's why we say on my intro, Kevin, the same thing, bro. And that's why I've been throwing it in there now. It's Michael, the realist. Obviously, Michael's my name. I hope. At least that's what's registering in my head. My name is Michael. Anyways, I'll let you go. My beautiful Papile, sister, dear good friend. And this young woman here that's leaving, Miss Latanya, she's the one that gave me the title, the Realist podcast. She said, you have been real with me 100% or 100% real with me. And she said, you should call yourself the Realist. And I just threw in my name and kind of put the little comments to kind of separate, because to me, I just show my head, Michael the Realist, even though that makes more sense than Michael the Realist. Go figure, but anyways, thank you so much. Love and peace, okay? Miss Latanya. And I'm glad I could entertain you for some. Now you got all day to remember what I said and crack up, right? Tell your family, say hello, and have a blessed day and a wonderful weekend. So, yeah, relax and make some more of your delicious movies. And I'm enjoying your new take on your life too, and kind of changing the family without kind of have to be sneaky, right? Not Illuminati, but out of love. Okay, populate. Um, how long is it going? Oh, it's over an hour and a half. Okay, so I had a good. I'm having a good birthday. My boo called me this morning. Well, yeah, wasn't gonna reveal that yet, but I've been with my baby for a little over a year and a half, and he called me this morning, and we barely chatted. No, nothing of that sort. Kind of talk, but respectful. Okay, thank you so much. Our blessings to Yahweh. Thank you, Yahweh, for bringing my sister here and everybody else here. Yeah, I like to be respectful unto what people call their ultimate being. Okay, bye, Mr. Tanya. Bless, be healthy, be happy and joyful in your heart and soul and your family too. Peace. Oh, I guess that helps, huh? Okay, let's see. What else can I talk about? Well, see, I was born to be a stripper. because my dad told me that when his good friend and coworker Concio, that was his last name. I don't know what it means in English, but I don't think I ever knew his first name. Anyway, he said that on a toy, well, not a toy, it had a horse's head, but it was like a broom handle, a wooden broom handle, and I used to ride it. And he said that I'd be in a little t-shirt, white t-shirt, and my underwear. Man, I think he said I was 2 or 3 years old. He said that I'd be riding on it, holding it, and like this, galloping, you know. And he says I go back and forth down the hallways because we had three hallways, two small ones and a long one, and I would go, throughout the house. And he said that him and his friend Couch would be talking in the living room on the sofa. And he said that I would come in, I would stop right at the entrance from the small hallway that led from either from coming out of the kitchen or from the long hallway or from the dining room. That's where the second hallway was. From the dining room to the kitchen was like, well, medium. The small one was coming from where the water tank was at and heater unit was. The door was there, and the small hallway would take you into the living room and the linen closet, well, the hall closet there in that small hallway. Anyways, he said that I would pull off my underwear, put my finger like that, spin it like the last one, let it go flying wherever the underwear landed, they landed. And then he said I would, smack my left butt cheek because I'm left-handed, so I'd go to the left cheek and then take off on my horsey, leave the underwear there. So see, I was naturally born to be a stripper, and I started when I was 2 or 3 years old. Don't be afraid of nudity. Again, the first nudity we do is when we come out of our mom. So we're all naked. So you have to accept your body no matter if you think you have a horrible body. Nobody has a horrible body. We only have a horrible body when we tell ourselves. Ugh, just that reaction. Ugh. I've never done that reaction. Accept yourself the way you are. I've always done that, even though it doesn't seem like that. But yeah, boy, this was all over the place, But I'm not saying this would be like it's my birthday. I can say what I want. No, not that. It's with me, you never know what's gonna come out of my mouth. I'm slowly learning to think before I speak, but many years of speaking before I think has always been dominant. But I'm trying my damnedest to change that because look at all the bad things I've said, about fellow YouTubers and people in general and stuff. I'm not like that. I'm really down to earth, very friendly, very humble, but my introvertness, and I know it sounds like an excuse, but it's not. Well, I know you're not here, miss. Oh, I thought it said Lori's channel. It's that allegedly speculating channel popped up on here. But it's life is hard. We have to make it the best that we can for ourselves and our loved ones. We can't change the world. Like when they say when the last pope dies, it's supposed to be Judgment Day coming. I just live my life the best I can. I can't stop it from happening, so I just live my life. I don't worry about that. It's gonna happen if it happens, and it's by the ultimate being that's gonna do it. So for those of us who believe in that belief of the Most High Yahweh, I don't mean disrespect, Natanya. I'm just saying by names, God, Jesus Christ, whatever. I'm not whatever, whomever or whatever. Well, I'll say whatever because we don't know. You know, and if you don't believe in anything, that's fine. I'll still love and respect you. You know, you're still a human being. Just don't bring any harm or hatred to me or my family, then we're good. And, you know, well, with anybody, you know, but you have to, I don't hate anyone. And I've always wanted to change my name because, you know, Michael's such a freaking common name. But when I learned what Michael means in Arabic, I said, well, I'm all for that because that's all I'm all about, love and peace. Because, you know, I was born in 65. So I started seeing things from, well, not so much as a baby outside, you know, but when I'd be with my mom and dad, you know, and Bubba, because it was us two only then. And, um, you know, this late 60s, I was 16. In 1969, yeah, if it's, I'm hoping it's real because that's what we saw and that's what my parents told me, you know, that they walked on the moon in 69, I think it was. I was 4 years old, so I've always been very observant and aware of my surroundings and things. And I remember seeing hippies, and like I said, I was always mesmerized by the hippie. I still am, and I wrote a song on that Sunu app. You know, it's music. The AIs use music of the '90s, but to me, music from like 2010 forward has it cannot. I listen to music from when to me music was music. You know, the '70s, the '80s, '90s, and early 2000s, but about after 2010, music has gone through hell in my audio and for enjoying. I don't. I love traditional country. That's my preferred song. Even though I say that Donna Summer is my favorite singer, disco is not my favorite music. I listen to it, you know, but and her mainly. But when you like an artist, you should never, especially with the gay male community. I was not part of that. You know, I'm a proud gay man. I just don't feel I have to announce it, not because I'm afraid of backlash or hate or I don't give a damn. I was born gay. I live. I don't cheat on my partner. They don't cheat on me, or else they're gonna catch hell from me. Anyways, and I will die a proud gay man. But I don't display my affections when I'm with my partner out in public. We don't hold hands. We don't kiss. I don't want to freak out little children that don't need to be exposed to things that they are too young to know. You keep that behind closed doors. My cousin Teresa, who's straight, she said that when she worked at a hotel and she was the check-in, check-out staff, I don't know, worker. She worked a little window, you know, and the office would be locked late at night, and the couple were straight couple were kissing, and she goes, I don't want to see that, you know. So it's a preference thing, it's respect, you know. Like I know it's gonna sound shitty, but I don't think same sex couples should have children because what if the child is born hetero, you know, heterosexual, and they're gonna see two women kissing, two men kissing, that might influence them to become something in a sexual uh, relationship that they're not really into, and that's going to confuse them. So it sucks for me saying that, but that's my beliefs. If somebody already has children and they're the same sex, you know, I support, you know, I respect that. It's just that after the fact, if I don't know people and I see it, no. And I don't like seeing men. That's why I only have the one ear, but I don't have it in my left ear. And they say, "Oh, you're hiding your sexuality." I said, "No, dumbass. My right hand takes worse than my left hand." So me trying to put a earring in this ear because I would have it pierced if it was, and putting on the backing would be a bitch, so it would never happen. So that's why I got it in my left ear because my left hand shakes less than my right ear. Oh, my right hand, woo, I'm covering it. Oh, and I'll come to your channel after my live chat. And when I see a man with a hair, they can have it down, but a little bun type of thing, ponytail is fine, But if I see a man and they have it pulled back tight in a bun, I said, "Oh, I guess your dick and balls fell off and your nutsack, huh? You lost it all." Well, then I could see why you got a bun in your hair. I said, "Are you still a man?" But that's the way my mind thinks, I'm not saying that other people actually think that way. I'm not here to influence anybody to change the way you were thinking before. That's just my mentality. Like, leave the stuff that should be for women for women. Like when I see men with nail polish, I say, no, no, no. And if you want to be my partner, no disrespect to you beautiful women, but if I'm not sexually attracted to a female, born female with a vagina, how am I supposed to be sexually attracted to a female-ish acting male? I cannot. You can be a family member of mine. You could be my best friend. I will love and respect you. You just cannot be my partner. I cannot keep getting promoted. I cannot keep a fucking heart on with a girly acting man. Oh, you came in at the wrong second, Angela Roy. Thank you so much. That's why I tell Latanya, if Angela Roy comes in, she is more than welcome to be here. So thank you, my beautiful Papile. Yep. I kind of don't want you to see the rewatch of this. I got emotional. I got personal. Um, I said some dirty things, but and I was trying my best to keep it medically correct. But sometimes my mind doesn't register, and I just blurt it the way I in slang, I guess. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you being here. Happy weekend to you. Happy Saturday. I hope you woke up blessed and good and healthy, joyful in your heart and your soul. I came too late. Sorry. I'm never late to come to my live chats. Like I can talk and talk like my mouth's got freaking diarrhea, okay? Keeps running and running and running until somebody says, "Stop, Michael, please. Put the brakes on," you know. But no, nobody's ever late here. When I started, it was almost, I think it was over like 5 minutes. Nobody was here, and then I was looking away. Then like some color popped up, and I looked, and it was Kevin. You have a channel, Angela Roy. If you want to grow your channel, you don't have to join the membership. Sorry, Kevin, if you're here still, but he has a monthly membership, and you know everybody deserves to earn an income if you're monetized, and you don't have to do the live chat. You don't have to join a membership to be, you know, in somebody's channel that's monetized, uh, but you interact with other content creators on his channel and with him, and he has a will, and the more he sees people interacting with each other, he'll put your name or channel name on that will, and it spins, and whoever it lands on, he will put it on the screen. It says, "Okay, check out like a promotion." You know, it's a good thing. I told them that with my May SSI check, I will be rejoining the membership. I told them why I have to kind of withdraw it. Okay, he should be here up there on the chat. I don't know. I'm sorry, I'm so brain farted. Oh my god, what is it? Something connects. Oh, YouTube Connect creator connect or something like that. It's on top of the chat. He was the first one, that came on. I said, let's see. But yeah, if you enter, the more he sees other content creators interacting with each other within that live chat, he notices, and he'll put the name on the will, and when the will spins, like Wheel of Fortune, except it's this way, and if it lands on the channel name, he says, "Okay, so and so is that song." I think what I my mind the way it works. I think he says how many subscribers you currently have, and he'll put your channel and he'll pin it or something, and he'll send everybody. And the way I remember, he may have changed the way to do it. Instead of saying, uh, I'm I came by for a visit. Like say I came to your channel because of him, and he mentioned your channel name, and he would say put it like to let other content creators know that I came over for a visit. I came over with a gift, or I brought you a gift. I left it at your door, and that lets you know that that person that's saying that is a legitimate content creator here on YouTube and like that. But you know, um, look into the his about me, I think, or something like that. Or he says that do you have a PO box? Oh, Angela, no, you don't have to. Just being here. That's the reason why I wanted to do the live chat. I don't. Um, I appreciate it. It's more that I get to tag you as my beautiful Papile and you coming visiting. And I don't know if I ever told you. I don't know if I have it in the about me, but I think I need to put it in there. But um, I'll I'll give it to you. But still, just remember in the future. No. But if you want, I can't force you. We're all grown. But uh, um, do I have your email address? Because there I can give you my home address. I gave my home address to like Colleen. I don't know if you know who Colleen is. LOL. Okay. Um, but maybe interacting with live chats in my videos and the comments when we talk there. Uh, that's enough for me. I'm very humble and I love and appreciate everybody. And I didn't know, finish saying that I was always wanting to change my name because Michael's such a common name. But when I learned what Michael means in Arabic, I said, no, I got to keep my name. The name Michael in Arabic means love. And that's what I say. And then since I was born in 65, my generation was the 70s. So hippies were very prominent here in Tucson. Well, I don't know, I guess California and everywhere else too. But what I saw, were the hippies, and I've always been mesmerized by the hippies because they were their own type of people. They didn't dress like us, middle class and um, casual wearing clothes. They were their own little, not community, but had their own styles. And I've always liked that, because they were different and still human beings, yes. And some were good, some were bad. The ones in our neighborhood, they were good. There was a Satanist, ones that lived a house away from our house, but they were cool. They didn't try getting us in their yard or, for that good old sacrifice. But they were cool, and they sacrificed the goat right there in the front yard, on the carport, they had it hanging upside down and it was bleeding from the nose. And me and my brother Bubba and our cousin Michael were hiding in the bushes. Our neighbor was our aunts and our cousin Patsy that lived there, and we were hiding in the bush. And then they were saying some words and chanting, and they cut the from here down, and all the Smiths came out. But anyways, but they didn't. hippies, they would play, guitars, have the little thing there for money, change them downtown and stuff. So I always say the best one that really puts you to my experience of the 70s was the movie Dazed and Confused. Oh my God, that is so my generation like that. The way they dressed, the way they talked, the way they acted, the cars that I would see going by, and kind of music, like good music. I listen to everything. I'm trying to listen to rap. I like and respect Rihanna for what she had, Eminem, whatever, rapping. So not you too, Rihanna, but since I appreciate and love her talent, and um, she's attractive to look at, but um, she's very talented, and so I tolerate it, but I don't. I like old school rap, Salt and Pepper. Sometimes whatchamacallit, En Vogue would have not rap, but kind of like, and I would still listen to that music because even though my generation of music was the 70s, I still had my siblings who were born in the 70s, that their generation was the 80s, and then younger cousins that were born, second, third cousins born in the 80s, and I mean the 90s and 2000s, and still coming, still being born. I listen, obviously, to the songs I listen to because if I'm visiting them and they have music playing in the background, that's it. And it only takes like 3 seconds to get my attention to say, oh, I like that song, or sometimes it'll take me a few times to hear. I said, oh, damn, or sometimes it'll take me years. And I said, God, that they would always tell me, you'll like the song, you'll like the music, you'll like the singer. And I don't know. And then years later, or decades later, dang, I wish I would have heard it back then, because I could have, see? So, like I was telling, um, I think Latanya was still here, or she was stepping out. And then Kevin, the YouTube channel, and Sharon Rollins. And I said, now I love all music, especially late 60s, 70s, 80s. And to me, that was music until about 2010 down was good music. After 2015 or something, or 13 or something, I started like rejecting the sounds of now. I said, like, I can't. Even singers that I was hardcore listening to, I still listen to like Alan Jackson and Pam Tillis. He's my favorite male country singer, and Pam Tillis, Mel Tillis' daughter, is my favorite female country artist. But I like traditional country, the music that my dad likes, so grew up loving the greats of traditional country. You always hear her name, Patsy Cline, you know, uh, George Jones, Glenn Campbell. My dad had a lot of traditional country albums. He had Tammy Wynette. He didn't have Loretta Lynn, but I don't remember Loretta Lynn. But my dad loved all types of music. My mom's music generation was the 50s. My dad's was the 40s. So it's all. Listen to more country. Oh, really, Angela? That's cool. Who's your favorite, if you don't mind sharing? But in the 90s, I was in the Pam Tillis fan club and Ellen Jackson's fan club. Um, I, I was going through a bad depression and bad anxiety, and from 92 is when they started developing the panic disorder, because I have three different forms of anxiety. I have panic attacks, um, anxiety attacks, and um, there's a third one, and then I have agoraphobia on top of that. So actually, it's kind of like four. And I don't know if you know what agoraphobia is. Look right now. Like Sheldon. Oh, you like the newer? Yeah, I used to like. I don't know when certain people hook up and get married and stuff. I kind of say no. I like them when they're separate. Like I love Gwen Stefani, and then I like Blake Sheldon. But I knew who Blake Sheldon was because he's the one that was married to what's her name, right? Lambert. What's her name? What the hell's her name? I don't know. Alyssa Lambert. Something. And but I. So, anyways, I was saying that even though I say that Donna Summer is my favorite singer, disco music is not my favorite music. I listened to it because it was my generation time of music. So was Journey and Foreigner and groups like that, the Police and stuff. So every bit of music that came out, all from the '70s, obviously, the '80s, I love. I love a lot of. When I was in high school, I had a good friend. I was a sophomore. She was a freshman, and nobody would hang out with her because she was a punk rocker. But she wouldn't dress it. I said, "Well, Susan, if you love punk rock, the high school we went through, her and I, it was different races, but still here in America, born here in America. We had the cowboys. The we had the back then they were black, all black. There was the black group. There was the Mexicans, the cholos, cholas. There was the preppies. There was the middle class people. There was the new waivers. There was, you know, different groups, but we'd all be like kind of in the same area, but away from, but in groups, of friends that would hang out. But so uh, she said, "Wow, I would be the only punk rocker here," and I said, "So it's the music you love, the music you're into. Come next year, and when you're a sophomore, I would be a junior then, year after." Oh, you too, huh? Uh, so I told her, "Come punked out, watch. I bet you'll get accepted." So sure enough, following year, and that's when Pat Benatar came out with her album "Get Nervous" or "Anxiety." Get Nervous, and she had the blue makeup like that. Well, Susan got a permanent marker. She did the blue. She came out with spiked hair, a leather vest, and she was punked out. And I said, "See?" And I said, "You know, we hung together because we were best friends, And I always seem to be not a trendsetter. I'm not a trendsetter, but I always seem to get people to be themselves, be comfortable in who you are, and dress the way you want, and be proud of the music. I didn't know how to dress for disco, and I would say Donna Summer this and Donna Summer that, and they would say, "Oh, you're a faggot. You love this." And I said, and that's how I put. But anyways, I just like to see people be able to be themselves and be who they really are. And don't hide. Don't never be ashamed of who you are, because then you're letting the outside people have that control over you. No, nobody controls you but yourself. So, but anyways, the name, did I already say it? The name Michael and Eric means love. So, and I'm about that, because that's why I always say love and peace. And that's why I do the peace sign, because the '70s, the hippies were always peace, peace, peace. And you don't know where downtown is here in Tucson, but here, the IRS building is across the street from the state building. And on the corners, right there, right before you go the little bridge underpass way into where it really becomes downtown. And they were holding up the peace signs, signs that said "Make love, not war," hippies, and I can't say bohemian, whatever. I pronounce wise as I can, but it does not want to register in my head to say that it's hippie. And I hope bohemian people, if they ever see my channel, whatever, can accept me saying that. And again, I don't give two shits. But anyways, holding the signs, and then the Volkswagen, just like in movies, Volkswagen vans, jeeps, trucks, whatever, beep beep beep, American flag everywhere, peace signs, peace signs, the flowers, like Scooby Doo, the Mystery Machine, kind of like that. But yeah, so the movie Days and Confused really fits my generation. That's how it was in school. Elementary school, you had to watch out for high schoolers that want to initiate you. But it was it was fun times. That's why I watch movies that really connect you. What I what I for myself. I can only speak for Michael Finley. I can't. Even though I have my siblings, I can't speak for my older brother Andrew. Bubba, because we all have we're not the same age. Him and I, he's born in '63 and he's 65. But even though we might experience something at the same time, when we get home and assess that ourselves, it's not the same. I have. That's cool. I'm glad. Peace to you, Angela Roy. Amen to you for having that. You have to accept they might not, children may not, I don't know about, I'm an uncle and I babysat many kids, even the ones that are parents now themselves, but um, I'm a godfather, if that counts. My second cousin, TJ, my first cousin, my dad is my first cousin, and then her son, my second, but he's her second born son, but me and my sister baptized him. But um, I'm not the best godfather, but I try. I used to tell him because my dad gave me. I think when I turned 35 years old, he gave me the ring that his mother gave him when he was 18 years old. 14 karat gold, and it was black onyx, and then a diamond on top of that, a 1 carat diamond. Since it was a gift from my grandmother, and then my dad gifted it to me on my birthday. And then I was going to give it to my nephew, but that partner I had at the time, stole a lot of things from me, and he sold that ring. And I said, "Damn, that was supposed to be that from my firstborn nephew, from my full-blooded sister. I have two other sisters, from their father's different from mine, but they're still my sisters. But yeah, it's okay if people, children or whatever age, experiment on sexuality because they may not be sure of what, or they might be where they sensually and they want to experience that. And I, not to your daughter, I don't see, I get it, the two, we were all in elementary school, not at the same time, but me and when they say love thy neighbor, boy, I took that seriously. I literally, anyways, name the same name as mine, not last name, of course. And we used to do. He's married. He's got children. We don't talk. But that's not because he's ashamed. I haven't contacted him on Facebook. I said, "You have a mother named Barbara." But and then there was another one from Catalina. And we've been married. He's got children, wife and children. Well, they're grown now. Because he's been in his 50s, late 50s. But both of them would be in their late 50s now. But uh, when my mom took off with that guy, well, that man, the one from Catalina, that was his uncle. So that's why there was no more communication with that one. But I don't bother them. I don't look for them. That's their life now. They want to contact me. They know my name. They can look for me on Facebook. Anyways, but I don't like when, and more so when a man does it to a woman. I hate it. I hate this disrespect that when a man is really gay because he's worried about what his family thinks, okay, to a point, I can understand that. But come on, you're a grown ass man. You mean you're afraid to come out to your family now, despite if you lose them, what's more important? Yeah, it's gonna hurt, but are you willing to put your sexual preferences away and deny your happiness to be with the sex you want to be with? You're gonna deny yourself that to keep these people happy. When are you gonna live your own fucking life? You have to cut ties. Either the parent cuts ties with you or you cut ties with them. You could still talk you, they might hate you, whatever, but they're gonna have, your parents are gonna have to just learn how to get over it. Don't I don't like seeing when a man again marries a woman knowing fucking well that he's 100% gay, because then when he chooses to let his wife know about it, he's not only lied to her all them years, he fucking played with her heart, her emotion, her mind, everything. You destroyed that poor woman. She didn't deserve that shit, that kind of disrespect. So she ends up hating your fucking ass for lying to her that you're really a damn faggot to be with a man. Why didn't the hell did you marry the poor woman to begin with? Oh, that pisses me the fuck off. That's why there's a lot of things in the gay community, especially among gay men, I freaking hate, and it makes me feel ashamed sometimes to be gay. You know, I've never been like that. I've always chosen to be with who I want to be with. Jaden, I'm in it. Okay, and thanks for coming in, Jaden. But I hate that, and it's how can you destroy another person's world, their life, their belief that they loved you with all their heart, but yeah, you go and crap on her like that. You don't do that to a woman. I'm sorry, but you don't fucking do that to a man. That's exactly true. Thank you. And I've always been for women's rights. I might on my channel, I might seem like I bash women. It's not that. It's because I speak before I think. Because I would say it a lot more respectfully and not angry and not sounding hateful. It's just that, and I'm trying to change that. I've been like that so many years, and I know it sounds like an excuse, but no, I love women. I'm just don't go with women. I will tell a woman because now with my modeling, the amateur modeling, because I'm old, I got into it when I was 50, but and plus I don't think when I was young, I don't think I could have. I've always been photogenic, and between my videos and my photo albums on certain websites, I don't understand why my photo albums always outdid views over my videos. And they said, "Well, you're very handsome." I said, "I'm not handsome. I'm just me. I look the way I look." I said, "I'm gonna get real here and adult talk, okay? Not sexual, but curse." They used to tell Marilyn Monroe, "Look at the camera and make love to it," and that's how she came out the way she did on the, because they put that thought process to put in her for her to think that way. So I always say, I since I do everything, the recording of video or photos, uh, I tell myself to look at the lens, and I don't only look at it. I don't make love to the camera or the lens. I fuck it, and my pictures are the outcome of that sex. I'm sorry. That's the best way I can explain it without using that kind of language. But I'm sorry, Angela, right? And but I've always just been photogenic. I don't use filters. I don't put makeup on. I don't believe that should be putting on makeup. That's just the way. I don't know who it was. Probably my mom, because my mom hated gay men, but she loved her lesbian niece. But anyways, she made fun of the Ray that used to do her hair. Barbara couldn't do her hair at the beauty shop, and I just always knew to not say nothing to her about me being gay. It's unbelievable. This thing's in the way. Okay. Yeah. Oh, understandable. Okay. And and then anybody gets cheated on. Well, yeah, it hurts. Because then you thought you could just like, okay, I'm gonna get. Um, I've always knew that I was gay. I don't know. I was Mr. Rogers, but he was a grown man. Okay, I was molested by a grown man. I never got counseling for it or therapy. So I saw Mr. Rogers, and he was kind of close to the screen. So my mom was in the kitchen on the phone. I went into the screen and I started kissing him, because I didn't know that he was a weirdo, a strange looking man. I just saw a man, and that's what I did, and I knew, I said, I just somehow knew that I was gay, that I like boys. And then when I would go pee in places and I would see a blonde haired man, Caucasian, and it was, I think from the sheriff's thing, I looked and he saw me looking at his penis, and he kind of, I guess so, he wouldn't feel like a pervert, but I didn't know any better. I just would look for Caucasian men with blonde hair and blue eyes and mustache and, white skin, because that's what gave me my first sexual pleasure was a Caucasian man, And there's a song by Barbara Mandrell, and it's my favorite song, and it's If Loving You Is Wrong, I Don't Want to Be Right. I listened to that song and I put it to him, because like I said, it's disturbing, and I need therapy for it, but it's already too late for therapy on that. But I found an attraction to him, and I've always been looking at singles uh, dating sites in hopes to find him, just him. And I would like to. My thought process was, since I never got counseling for it or therapy, was if I would have been his little secret, dirty secret, little child plaything, in hopes that would stop him from harming other children. That was my Christian thing to do to protect other children, is that I would let him do with me as he wanted sexually, as long as it would stop him from harming other children. And yeah, that sucks and it's disturbing and disgusting, but that's what I felt and still feel, that even to this day, if he's still alive, if he still would come in the neighborhood that I used to live in and I saw him and say, "Hey, do you remember me? 9 years old? Well, let's make it grown up and have some grown up fun." Because in 1990, I actually saw him twice. One, my sister was with me, my only sister, my blue-blooded sister, but she didn't know about it, and I saw him and he was in that same truck that I noticed there in the neighborhood. And like I said, I've always been very observant since a very little boy. I mean, before I started kindergarten, I've always saw things that belonged in the neighborhood. When me and my mom would walk to the little Chinese neighborhood market, I knew cars and people that belonged there, or would come on weekends. I would see those cars, and I saw a blue truck with a silver camper shell, and it was blue. It was silver from the top and kind of on the sides. Then it was a blue line like that, the little square window, silver, silver, then blue again. And the hatch window, it had the numbers 1450 on it in gold and black numbers. And I see this tall white man, blonde hair, about like John Schneider's character on Dukes of Hazzard, how his length of hair and blonde like that. And then the man David had blue eyes, the mustache, blonde hair on his arms. I remember everything. And then he had a white T-shirt, blue Levi's, kind of like faded, and light brown hiking boots, and the right one was untied. So I remember it was, I guess, good and bad thing about having a photogenic memory. Exactly. That's what I was saying about that little Madeline Soto. That's why I got emotional and I started crying. And I always said that's why I don't watch the local or national news. It's very hard because I hope I don't repeat a little breakdown again. But I said, like that little Madeline Soto, our children. I don't like seeing, well, nobody with a heart and humanity and human wants to hear, especially children, that happening true. But the reason why is because other children go through what I went through and possibly worse, I'm sure. And then they're killed in their hell. They don't have to live 24/7 like I do. What's so fucking good about me that I'm still alive? I was not killed because then my nightmare would never have happened, and I'd be up in heaven with, Jesus Christ. So I always try to be a living example. I guess that's the word. I've been trying to come up with a living example of if you see children and they're acting like, oh, Michael said something to that effect, or Michael acts certain ways like shy and in front of when he's talking on videos or live chat. Maybe this little child in my family or my friend's family, maybe something like that happened to them and they're not talking about it. That's why I've always said a visual aid, but that's not the right words. But I think what I just said before that, I think that's my goal. I guess maybe that's why I was not murdered, is that I'm gonna be the voice for children that do not speak up if they were sexually harmed. But that's why I cannot watch the news, because I said, what's so fucking special about me that I got to live and all these other innocent children that happened to them and they're killed, you know. But every day, Angela, I pray to God, and I said, and I do like a chant, and I said, please God, kill me in my sleep, kill me, don't let me wake up ever again. And look, I'm 60 years old, see, from the chairs again, damn it. So I'm gonna but I think you know what I'm talking about. But here to make sure, like I said, I wish that I'm sure she was threatened by that sorry son of a bitch pedal motherfucker. Sorry bitch ass. But if she would have just said something, and like I was telling Latanya and Sharon, and I think Kevin was with her, maybe not, but um, I was saying when young girls are going through uh, puberty, because I know that you females go through it before us boys do, or males. Well, back then boys for me, but because I went through it at 11. But anyways, don't, especially for the young girls when because they're going to be starting their menstrual cycle. I would think their pediatrician would check them. Like I don't know how females are checked, but um, don't they check down there for the, I don't know, why didn't they, why wasn't she checked vaginally, Madeline Soto, knowing, seeing that her hymen was not there, and that maybe if they had to check her for, like they said, she was constipated sometimes, that wouldn't they check her annually or x-ray or something, wouldn't they be able to see that it was like wider than it should have been? That sorry motherfucker did bad things to that little girl. And I was saying I believe she was pregnant, and that's why she was murdered, because how would they explain her pregnancy, knowing that she did not have a boyfriend in school in junior high, but they knew that she was in bed with her mother and her mother's boyfriend. That would say rape. If you got a fucking brain in your head, you would know that motherfucker raped a little child. That's sorry, bitch. But I don't understand how the teachers or anybody didn't see the signs. God damn, man. If me being a man and not being a parent, I would know that something was wrong with her other than her ADDH, or how do you say that? I know I should go. Happy birthday again. I'll chat with you again. Love you. Oh, love you. Love you too, Angela, my beautiful Papile. And anytime you don't, that somebody that sees this like chat or you, Angela, if a butterfly is not your thing, you could tell me of another insect. I love ladybugs too. I didn't know that I didn't know that little ladybugs were males too. It doesn't click in my head like that. It says ladybug and it say lady boy. Just like I guess all insects have, but I just figured it has the title ladybug. Let the ladybug be a female, not a male. But anyways, if you like something else or don't like insects, there could be something else. It could be a little cat or a doggy or some little puppy, whatever. A flower even. But anyways, okay. Love and peace, Angela Roy. Thank you so much. You're here, and that's just because you are here on my birthday. Yes, I love butterflies. Oh, you love both? Okay. All right. So if I don't call you Papile that day, I can call you a little ladybug, a little special type of ladybug, not just a regular ladybug. It has to be have the word my and then like my beautiful Papile, not just Papile. Sometimes it's too short, and then I'll just put Papile. But anyways, okay. Well, I'm gonna go in the chat too, but it'll be there later. It doesn't get recorded, I don't think. I don't know why, but at least you were here. So that made my birthday extra special. See, I don't need gifts. Do you have a PO box? I mean, an email. I'm sorry. Oh, I'll put my email address here, and then if you want to email me, then I can send you my home address. There's weirdos out here in the YouTube world. I'll put it here. Uh, yeah, if that's okay, and okay. Lowercase Michael. Uh, I could just tell you, but I'll just put it incorrectly. Let's see. Oh, Lord have mercy. Turn the I put Ray. Oh God, my eyesight is bad. Okay. Oh my god, I left up the A. Then one finger typing. I'm not go. Oh, this is too long. Oh. Oh my god, I forgot the all one forever. Okay, I'm gonna take care and again. Thank you, and then love and peace, and God bless you and your family. Everyone that was here, you're all rock stars. No, go on about your day. Leave me the hell alone. Let me go to sleep on my damn birthday. Damn. No, I'm kidding. All right, bye. God bless.